Polyp Works here, and this is One Design, Episode 2. This is a series in which I talk about various One Piece characters that I particularly like. We talk about their designs and a bit about the psychology which influences their designs and where Oda seems to be going with them. So today, keeping up with the Blackbeard theme that I started this series on, we're going to talk about the captain of the 6th ship of the Blackbeard Pirates, known as Catarina Devon, also known as the Crescent Moon Hunter. Now, what really strikes me about Devon is that she is in a very unique space among basically all the female character designs in One Piece, because she's a butterface. She has a very attractive body, but her face is not conventionally attractive, which is something that's very unique for her. Because in One Piece, either the character is all the way ugly or they're conventionally beautiful. And there are various variations in those two categories. Some are like the fake Nami. Then you have Big Mom, who just sort of aged into being ugly. But on the flip, you have characters like Shaki, who aged into being very beautiful. Or you have like Sandra Sonia, whom isn't conventionally attractive in the obvious way, but she has some very attractive features, and she does have a very attractive body and face. I wouldn't call her ugly, but she's just odd. And then you have even more attractive oddities like Amande. Catarina Devon is an interesting case because she has a very witch-like face, but on top of that, she has a very attractive body. Now, what is cool about her, even in her prison garb during the later half of the pre-time skip, is that she very much favors pink, and she wears her hair in pigtails. So despite being a woman in her 30s, which is weird because I thought she was much older, honestly, but despite being a woman who is mature in her 30s and who has a very though feminine, very brutish appearance, she's a girly girl, which I think that's kind of cute. Actually, she's a girly girl because she wears pearls, she has her hair in pigtails, she prefers purples and pinks, and I think that's really cute. I think that's really sweet because you don't expect that from somebody who looks as she does. So it gives her a bit of hidden depth that you wouldn't otherwise think about. Though the two outfits that she gets post time skip, from when Moria invades Pirate Island and then when the Blackbeard pirates are just palling around with Kuzan in a bar, both of these are bangers. Because the first outfit is her being a true pirate, and really it kind of is a reflection of her insecurities. Because of the way she looks, it would make sense that she would, like Teach, indulge in being the most piratey pirate there is. Because much like her captain, Marshall D. Teach, she is as flamboyant as she wants to be. Her drip is to the nine. She's got the blouse, she's got the corset, she's got the poofy pants, she's got the big tricorn, she's got the big feathery thing, she's got a rose in it. It's baller. It's baller. Also, what is interesting about this design change is that the pre-time skip would lead you to believe that she's a spearwoman because that's what she does to attack Whitebeard. But in the post-time skip, she has some sort of cutlass or some sort of sword on her hip. Don't know much about that, but it's a very cool thing to point out because we haven't really seen her fight yet. So I don't know what her true allegiances lie when it comes to combat. But the outfit in which she's in the bar talking to Kuzan is a Big Mom banger because she looks like a young Big Mom. Not as attractive, of course, but still, she looks amazing. She's got the flowery pants on. She's got the cowboy hat, the frilly stuff hanging out the back. It's a good fit. It's a good fit. It seems like it's the same blouse. Can't wait to see this animated, by the way. But you don't get a good look at it. But it's another baller fit. It really shows you how she does compensate for how she looks by dressing nicely, which I think is a reflection on Teach, because Teach gets more and more flamboyant as he arises in piracy. And another thing that I don't know if this is going to be a theme in the opposing group of the Straw Hats, because it is present in the Cross Guild. But I do wonder, is she meant to be a reflection of Teach? Because they almost have the same type of face and they present themselves in the same type of manner, which not a lot of Blackbeard pirates do. The rest of them kind of are stuck in their ways. Very few of them change drastically from their prison garb. They do have personality once they like become a part of the Yonko crew, but like none of them are as flamboyant as Teach other than Devon. So that's just cool, because she obviously has a sort of distaste for pretty young women as she collects their heads. But another thing about her appearance that I think is interesting that kind of goes into her power set is that she was based on, in part, from a woman named Catarina de Erosio. I'll put the name on screen. I can't pronounce this name, but she was a female explorer who was a conquistador who cross-dressed under masculine identities. This is cool because the first time we see Catarina Devon use her abilities, she becomes a man. She uses the power of the dog fruit model nine-tailed fox to become Absalom in order to sort of goat and poke fun at Moria as he invades Pirate Island. So I think that's a really cool little Easter egg that she's based on a woman who cross-dresses, and then her first use of her abilities is essentially cross-dressing in more ways than one. Because what makes her stand out too amongst other power users in One Piece who can change how they look is that she can also change her clothes to match the person she has copied, which is a very, very interesting and rare thing, because that as an ability is a totally other fruit in itself. Kinemon has it, the whole disguise fruit, in which he can make clothes appear out of thin air once a person puts like a rock on their head. So that's super interesting that she both has Kinemon's fruit and the clone fruit all wrapped up into one. Mythical Zoans are no joke. But yeah, it's a reflection too now that even though she is a bit of a butterface, she can essentially become whoever she wants to be. And I find that so interesting amongst all the characters with these type of powers, that there's something always off about them. There's always some sort of weird identity crisis, or an identity crisis develops, you know. It's very interesting. And then most of them, not all of them, but most of them are sort of evil aligned, which is interesting, of those whose powers reflect masquerading as someone else. Very interesting, very cool in that. But what's also very important about her is that we haven't really seen her transformed fully yet. We've only seen her in sort of the midst of transforming from Absalom back into her nine-tailed fox form, and even that we don't get a clear screenshot of. So that's something to look forward to. And what's also very sort of groundbreaking about her is that she's the first female inmate who was named and Impel Down, not counting Olive from the filler in the anime. But yeah, Devon is the first canon female named inmate from Impel Down, and she's also the first canon female to use a mythical Zoan fruit. So yeah, high marks for Devon. She's got a lot going on. I've often hypothesized, just based on how the idea of her started in One Piece Green Secret Pieces, we see that her design before she became this was someone in a kimono with like space buns. It looks like a space bun hairstyle, and it looks like Yamato. So I'm wondering, based on both of them being mythical dog fruit users, Yamato herself having a bit of an identity crisis and wanting to be someone else, and that being Odin, I often wondered, are these two going to fight sometime in the future? Because Yamato is a pretty young woman, so Devon would have some sort of distaste for her, and Yamato technically is cross-dressing, and Catarina Devon is based on a famous cross-dresser, so they seem sort of fated to clash, but only time will tell. All in all, I find Catarina Devon a very interesting character, and that's part 2. See you for part 3.